You guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the 5 best investments currently that are under $10. Now, before we get into that, I do want to say a word about our membership program. So essentially, before the season started, our members were buying up heavy on Ja Morant and Steph Curry, and those are 2 picks that have really paid off. Our platinum membership group was recommended to buy Ja Morant's Prism Blue out of 99 in a PSA 9 for under $2,000 and in a PSA 10 for under $6,500. The PSA 9 is currently all the way up to $4,400, and then the PSA 10 is almost at $13,000. So if you guys would like to join in on the profit, we typically love to pride ourselves on being ahead of the market and figuring out what's the next card to go up. So if you guys would like to join in on the profit with us, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. But without further ado, we are going to hop right into this video. So the first card that we have that is under $10 that I believe is a very good investment is Pascal Siakam's 2016 Prism. Now, of course, Pascal Siakam has been out of the spotlight for quite a while as the Raptors have not specifically been, a contender. But simply put, I believe it's become quite clear that Siakam is not the best first option as he cannot really carry the offensive load for the team. However, as we've seen when he's had Kawhi, he's an incredible second or third option. And he can definitely put up 20 to 25 points per game if another player on his team can drive the defense's attention away from him. As we've seen when Fred VanVleet has big games, Siakam really steps up because a lot of the attention goes to VanVleet. So I believe, that Siakam will very likely get traded sooner or later. And they're currently, he has been involved in many trade talks, including the Warriors' strong interest in him. All attention has been away from him, and the Raptors, have had an underwhelming season, and I believe that really presents a great buying opportunity for Siakam's cards, because if Siakam does get traded, or the Raptors somehow are able to build a real team again, get a real superstar or just star to really complement Siakam, I believe the Raptors could really be on the map because they've got, championship DNA in them. With Fred VanVleet, Siakam, and their whole coaching staff, I really believe that either a superstar is going to go to the Raptors, or that Siakam is going to get traded, and therefore Siakam, his cards have a very low population. Even, the slightest uptick in demand can cause a great sale. So I definitely believe Siakam is a great buy right now. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and that is James Wiseman and his 2020 Optic Holo. Wiseman has never really been given a true opportunity to showcase his talents, as he had very limited playing time last season and then was sidelined with an injury since. Given the Warriors' potential this year with Steph, Clay, Draymond, and all their pieces that have really been coming together, I definitely believe that during these playoffs, all the attention will be on the Warriors. And James Wiseman will be the starting center of a potential championship team. And I believe that presents great opportunities for this young man. If his Optic Holo has already started to gain some traction. So for under $10, his Optic, I believe, would actually be a very good buy. If you can snag an Optic Holo for under $10, but I definitely believe his Optic is a very safe buy. They're priced very low, so I believe there's not much risk given where prices are. But I believe, for a number 2 pick on a championship potential team, being a starter, I believe the upside is incredible right here for James Wiseman's cards. So I definitely believe with all the shooting, Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, Wiseman has the opportunity to really dominate the paint, given defenses are going to have to be so focused on Steph and Clay. It's hard for them to really, have great paint defense. And so therefore I believe, Wiseman could have a very good year either next year or this postseason. You never know. But I believe it's a no-brainer to kind of buy in at least some of his cards. Maybe don't go too hard just because it is a little bit of a risk. But given the prices are so low, it's very tough to lose in my opinion. So I definitely believe Wiseman is a great buy. And without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and that is De'Aaron Fox in his 2017 optic. I believe that the Tyrese Halliburton trade really opens up the backcourt for De'Aaron Fox to just lead the team. And on top of that, he's got a great big man to play alongside him in Domantas Sabonis. So I believe that this trade, although it may not be beneficial for the Kings, I believe that this trade is very beneficial for De'Aaron Fox's career. So I definitely think Fox's numbers are going to be very good. I believe that the Kings could possibly attract a few more, stars in this league, given that they've got a good foundation right now with a great big man in Sabonis, and of course, a very talented point guard in De'Aaron Fox. So I definitely believe, given the numbers he's putting up, the potential he's shown, a lot of investors could be turning their eyes to De'Aaron Fox sooner or later. It's hard to say exactly when, he's going to finally have that breakout year, but I definitely think it's coming, and I think this trade really opens up the backcourt for him to just lead the team and put up some big numbers to really draw attention of investors. So I definitely believe Fox is a great buy. And next up, we've got Cam Johnson. So Cam Johnson's optic rookie card, I believe, is a very good short-term investment given Chris Paul's injury. Of course, Cameron Johnson already had a pretty decent role within this championship Suns team, but I believe Chris Paul being injured for the next 6 weeks gives Cam Johnson a much bigger role, and we could see some big games from him as someone really needs to step it up. The Suns have just lost their last 2 games without Chris Paul, so I believe there's really going to be a lot of strain put on Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, so I definitely believe, buying into Cam Johnson's cards right now is a smart short-term investment to, make some money in the short term. I could see his optics going up to $10 if he has a few great scoring games, and given he's a young player, a lot of investors love to find the next young player, so they start to invest a lot when players have big scoring games. So I definitely believe Cam Johnson is a great buy. Now, last but not least, we've got Carmelo Anthony and his 2003 Topps rookie card. You might be asking, the Lakers are doing so poorly. Why would you be investing in Carmelo Anthony right now? My sole reason is that players often really get overlooked in the market towards the declining end of their careers. It's often once a player retires is when everyone starts to look back on their career. Once Carmelo Anthony retires, he will certainly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He will go down as one of the best scorers of all time, a 10-time All-Star, and one of the best Team USA players of all time. When Carmelo finishes his career, he will likely be top 15 all-time in points scored. And in addition to all that, I believe 2003 will become a very great, or a very iconic set in the long term, of course, led by LeBron's rookie card. So I definitely believe that, now is a good time to be buying into Carmelo's cards. I remember, when Kobe was on the declining end of his career and losing so many games, his cards were at an all-time low. And they've never gone back to that point since. So I definitely believe it's a very good time to be buying into Carmelo when his stock is very low, given he's an all-time player, an all-time scorer, and, a legend in New York City, which is definitely, a huge market. So I definitely believe Carmelo is a great buy right now at his current prices. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, if you would like to join in on the program, click the link down below. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.